Looks like the drama out of Hallis Hall has died down this week, with the Bears coming off a last-second 16-14 victory over the winless Detroit Lions. But this Sunday, a much tougher opponent awaits, with Super Bowl contending Arizona Cardinals. And joining us now with more is James Big Cat Williams, former offensive lineman for the Chicago Bears from 1991 to 2002. Big Cat, great to see you as always. So the Bears end their 5-game losing streak on Thanksgiving with that thrilling walk-off field goal. What did you make of their performance, capping off a really strange week?
Yeah, it was a long week. You have to imagine, for the coaches and for the players. You know, there were a lot of distractions up at Hallis Hall that last week, and you know, for them to pull out a win, no matter how ugly it was still a win, and it was a win that they needed. You know, not so much a win that they needed to try and save the coach's job or anything like that, but a win that they needed as a group, as a team, to say that, look, you know, let's go out here, play hard. We have a lot of things to play for, and you know, you kind of take it personal and go out there and do as much as you can to get a win. You know, just to show yourselves that you can do it.
And Justin Fields, no doubt, is the future at the quarterback position. The organization considers him to be the burgeoning franchise quarterback. But is he too injured to play this week? And if so, how has Andy Dalton played in his stead?
I think when you're talking about a young quarterback like Fields, and you're talking about your future franchise, I think you have to be, you know, a little overcautious, because you don't want him going out there and hurting himself further. He is a young guy. He has a lot of talent. There are a lot of things that he can do on the field, but you don't want him putting himself in harm's way when he doesn't have to. You know, we want to see him grow. We want to see him progress as a young quarterback, but we also don't want to get him killed before his time comes to play.
And there's been a lot of hard hits that he sustained all season long. The Bears take on the 9-2 Arizona Cardinals, tops in the NFC West. Kyler Murray, star quarterback, been injured but supposed to be coming back. The Bears defense has lots of injuries. How are they going to stop this quarterback?
Well, it's a guessing game right now, because we don't know who's starting. If Kyler Murray starts, then you're talking about a quarterback that can hold on to the ball, push the ball down the field to some of those weapons they have, and make those big, exciting plays. If McCoy starts, now you're talking about a guy that is going to be a game manager for them. He's going to throw the short, quick passes. They're going to run the ball. They're going to run the screen plays. They're going to basically try and move the ball methodically up and down the field on the Bears, and you know, force the Bears to stop them. And you know, it's going to be a question about how much pressure do the Bears try and put on them. Do they try and blitz them, or they're going to try and play press coverage because McCoy's in there, and you know, they want to stop the short passes, because he really has not shown that ability to throw the ball downfield.
And the bright spot in the defense for the Bears has been the defensive lineman Robert Quinn, who was named NFC Player of the Month, so maybe he can get some pressure on whoever the quarterback is. On the offensive side of the ball for the Bears, Allen Robinson still dinged up. Do you see them being able to exploit Arizona's defense, either in the run game or the passing game?
Well, I think they definitely have to attempt to run the ball. You know, I think the strength of the Arizona defense is their secondary. They're ball hawks. They get after people. They will press you at the line of scrimmage, and you know, they're able to generate pressure from that front seven. I think they are 8th in the league in sacks right now, so they have the ability to put pressure on you. They have the ability to shut your wide receivers down. You know, running the ball is, I think, the most effective way to attack a team like Arizona. But you know, you have to be able, and you have to be willing to stick with it.
I want to get back to the game in a second. There's a couple reports this week predicting that perhaps one of the top receivers in the game, Davante Adams with the Packers, could land in free agency with the Bears next year. Do you think that's a possibility at all, given the fact that receivers don't fare well in Chicago over the last few decades?
You'd have to, I mean, in my own personal opinion right now with the state of the Bears, you'd have to question whether a player of his magnitude would want to come here after seeing, Robinson the last couple of years, the way he's been handled as far as the contract stuff and, just their inability to get him the ball this year. You knew coming into this year that Robinson was the #1 wide receiver, and they just have not made the attempts to get him the ball like a #1 receiver. So, that would have to weigh heavy on my mind as far as if I was a receiver thinking about coming to the Bears.
Yeah, it might be a tough sell to get him to come to Chicago. All right, your prediction for this Sunday?
I just don't, you're talking about a 9-2 Arizona team. They've had a backup quarterback in for the last 3 weeks, and they've gone 2-1. They've, figured out how to work with what they've got. And I just don't see the Bears being strong enough with all the injuries that you have on defense, the possibility of Fields not playing, Robinson not playing. I just can't see them pulling this one off. So I'm going 13-24 Arizona.
All right, well, but maybe the Bears can play spoiler at 4-7. And as always, our thanks to as do I. Our thanks to James Big Cat Williams. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Bears.